5 seconds. Start. Sir, I stand here in support of the bill that we are discussing today. I would definitely like to quote what the India's stand at the UN is. It says that they are deeply concerned over proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and their delivery system. The earlier speaker, Professor Saugata Babu, has already spoken about it at length, but in a synopsis, I would like to say that India supports the full and effective implementation of the Chemical Weapons Convention and emphasizes the strengthening of the OPCW to fulfill its important mandate. Sir, it is very good that we have brought in this bill, and India has always had a very good and a positive image of a peace loving and peacemaking country. So I congratulate the Honorable Minister for bringing in this bill, but I would like to bring to the notice of the House of what he said. He said that we have come to the new world order. It is true that the world has changed. There is a book called Defining Weapons of Mass Destruction. It is one of the papers where he had said that the Center of Study of Weapons of Mass Destruction, which is a national defense university, has recommended why do we not expand the scope given how the world is changing. Even the war today globally is a hybrid war now, as we call it. They have recommended that India's definition of weapons of mass destruction is for nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons. So, can we expand it? It may not be literally in this bill. Maybe in the next few months you could consider this. This is my request to you. There are these new challenges because of this new world order. Can we talk about radiology, talk about high explosives, talk about weapons of mass destruction, or in fact, potentially include CBRN weapons, other means of causing massive disruptions such as cyber attacks, electromagnetic attacks? If we could make it, I think we will really set a very good order and a new precedent in the world that India is very serious and committed. That is the only suggestion that I would like to make. Besides this, I would like to put something on the table. In the larger scheme of things, it is a very small example. In Maharashtra, recently there was a small power crisis in Mumbai city for over 3 hours. People said it was an act of hacking. It was the electromagnetic system which collapsed. This could be a very small trial, we do not know. But for a city like Mumbai to have no electricity is a big thing. We did not know how it stopped, how it collapsed. There was nothing wrong with the grid. Could it have been an attack? I have no evidence to prove it, but this is how the story begins. The only point I am trying to make here is, could we consider broadening the definition? Besides this, I would like to talk about some other issue which nobody else has mentioned, and that is the diseases. It is like a pandemic. There is a story that COVID 19 was probably an attack on the globe. Could we have a broad discussion on this? This is my suggestion to the Honorable Minister. What is interesting in this entire debate is this: when we brought the nuclear agreement at that time, we were sitting on that side and you were in a different role, and there were a lot of objections to the agreement. I do not want to get into a too meme on this because it is a very serious bill. I'm so glad that the agreement that the Honorable Manmohan Singh ji had led at that time to put India on the global map today has become a reality. In the nuclear suppliers group, we are a very important part. I really want to know from the Honorable Minister that with all the new friendships that you have made in the last few years, why have we not joined the group as yet? What are we doing to excel our position? America was very positive about it. There were a lot of nations which have supported India, but there are nations which have objected, like New Zealand, Ireland, Austria, China. They have objected to us. Now, what is our position with such wonderful relations? I still remember this article. I was too, and I hope you indulge me with this and take it on a little lighter note or a little banter in parliament sometimes. There was a story which I was too tempted to talk about today. It says they talked, they posed, and they left. The Indian Prime Minister and the Chinese President met 18 times since 2014. I stand corrected, it could be more. There were many meetings that they have had. I am a big one for dialogue. I am completely against any war. But what has happened to our position by having so many meetings where they talked, they posed, and they left? What really happened between these three activities when they talked, they posed, and they left? Something more substantial should come out of it. I would like to ask the Honorable Minister where this is. Like my colleague Shri Ritesh Pandey talked extensively about the financing of it, I would like to ask this from the Honorable Minister. It is a very good bill. I think that any such thing must be stopped. I think that the entire House, in one voice, supports your bill. The only clarification that I would like to ask is that there is a note in the statement of objects and reasons in 5B1 where it mentions freeze, seize, or attach funds. I appreciate it as it is a wonderful thing, but what concerns me, and more so because it is something very new. Stop.